On, guys, we're back here with another winning lineup review. This is from last night's NBA clutch shot. Top prize $100,000, 1-5-22. This was taken home last night by S Dow 14X. Congrats to him. Big shout out to him. Again, as always, we do this. We can look back on the winning lineup, kind of see how these guys fit in. Hopefully, we can take some of the tips and insights we get by looking back at last night and implement this into our future research so that one day we can take down our own tournaments and hopefully be featured on this. As always, if you like the video, go ahead and drop me a like. I appreciate it. It helps support me and the channel. And if you want to keep seeing these and want to keep seeing me churn these out, go ahead and drop me a subscribe as well. So let's go ahead and get started. At the first spot here at point guard, we have Jose Alvarado. Kind of a chalkier play last night. About mid-afternoon, late afternoon, news broke that there's going to be no Devontae Graham, no Valanciunas, no Josh Hart, and no Brandon Ingram. So basically the whole Pelicans starting lineup was out. Freed up a lot of guys to come up off the bench and get a start. This is Alvarado's first career start. Cheap price. I believe he was around 4,000, maybe 4,100. Over the past couple games, he's been the backup point guard. Satoransky's kind of been DNP, coach's decision. So Alvarado was definitely the guy to step in and kind of take over and play the major minutes last night. Like I mentioned earlier, cheap price, so simply way too cheap for starter minutes and an increased workload with shots going around and usage going around. So overall, this is a pretty straightforward and easy play in my eyes. If you're going to be out there for 30 minutes at a pretty low cheap price, like 4,000, you're bound to hit a value unless you're like Tony Snell or some guy that just sits in the corner. But Alvarado's a point guard, so there's very few point guards that just don't produce. Next point guard spot, we got Cunningham. This guy's been on fire ever since he's come out publicly and said, hey, I'm the best rookie out there. I'm rookie of the year. Since then, he's been averaging 44 fantasy points a game, taking 15-plus shots a game, and playing 35-plus minutes a game. He still has no Kelly Olynyk, no Jeremy Grant, who are two big usage guys out there in Detroit. So without them, he's kind of left alone. Similar to SGA and OKC, kind of just throw him out there, let him take all the shots, hope he scores enough points so that they can win the game or at least stay competitive in the game. And I believe him coming out publicly has kind of held him more accountable, so he's kind of more liable to produce. So it doesn't look like some guy who's just flexing or whatever. Also, Denver didn't have any Will Barton, so that kind of lowered their offensive output, losing one of their top scorers, giving the game a greater chance of staying closer. With Cade also being a shooting guard, might have helped him out on the defensive end. Instead of going up against a savvy veteran like Will Barton, he got to go up against the almighty Austin Rivers. So I believe that certainly helped him out on the offensive end with Austin Rivers' defense. Next shooting guard, we have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Another kind of obvious player from last night, as I previously mentioned earlier. No Devontae Graham, no Valanciunas, no Ingram, no Josh Hart. So this kind of left Nickeil Alexander-Walker to be the guy last night, the head honcho, the main offensive guy. And he certainly backed that. He threw up 22 shots last night, played 37 minutes, and had a 33% usage. Again, similar to Alvarado, simply too cheap for that kind of playing time and that kind of usage. And I believe when he played Philly last time, when he used to be the starter, had about 30 minutes, but he also threw up about 30 points. So definitely had a good history against Philly, and he definitely came out and showed that when given the opportunity, he's a guy that can produce. Next shooting guard, we have Malik Monk. As you can see, a very, very, very low-owned guy, 1.4%. Malik Monk, a couple weeks ago, very hot. I believe he got his price to almost 7,000. He was in the 6,000 range for a bit, scoring 30 to 40-point games on pretty much every given night. And then the Lakers were in a slump, so they kind of announced that Ariza was going to be starting for about a week span of games, and that kind of plummeted Malik Monk in his stock. Didn't play as many minutes. I believe he was under 25 minutes when Ariza was playing, and not as much opportunity with the second unit as well. Anthony Davis came back, so Ariza shifted not only to the bench but not playing the game at all. And I believe that's what helped Monk last night, kind of get him back to his old playing time and back to his increased opportunity of leading the second unit. This was also the third highest scoring total in the night. So this was an easy path for scoring. And he had a very soft Brooklyn Nets second unit. No real notable defensive guys in that unit, so he kind of could have his way with those guys, and he certainly did last night. Next small forward, we have James Harden. Another obvious play. No Kevin Durant, no Kyrie Irving, heading into, again, the third highest total game by himself. Allowed him to revert to his Houston days where he kind of just, carried the offense, where he was scoring 30, 40, 50-point triple-doubles. And as we know, the Lakers are very soft defensively, especially at point guard. So, again, open him up an easy avenue to kind of come in, get a triple-double, drop his points, take as many shots as he want, and leave with at least a 60-point game. And he certainly did that last night. Second small forward spot, Anthony Edwards. Too cheap of a price for this guy's output. He's a 15 to 20 shot guy a night, 35-plus minute guy a night. Can get you some defensive steals, as we see 3 steals, 3 blocks last night. Great performance on defensive end. And so a guy like that should be priced 7 to 8K, high 7s, low 8s. That's what he's been priced at for most of the year. For some reason, his price has been dropping recently. I think he came in last night at 6,700. So certainly way, way, way too cheap for that. Surprisingly, this game had the highest game total with a very tight spread, so it was supposed to be back and forth all night. I didn't really like the matchups for D'Lo and Cat. Certainly proved true. D'Lo had him an okay game, but Karl-Anthony Towns only put up 7 shots last night. Still had a decent fantasy game, but Karl-Anthony Towns putting up 7 shots is almost unheard of. So that kind of opened the doors for Anthony Edwards last night to go crazy and score him 40 points. Also, the team saw he was obviously hot and on a streak, so they let him play an extra couple minutes. I believe he played 38 or 39 minutes last night, and this game could have been even bigger for him. They had a chance to go to OT, but there was some late game shenanigans in that one. First power forward spot, another kind of obvious play in my eyes, Pascal Siakam. It was announced no Fred VanVleet, no Scotty Barnes, so that opens up obviously more shot opportunities to go around the offense, and guaranteed a little more playing time for Pascal Siakam, as he would be the leader of the offense in the team with the point guard out and Fred VanVleet. He got to go up against a soft Charlotte front court. Mason Plumlee is no defensive mastermind. He's just there kind of. Miles Bridges, also not really a formidable defensive opponent. He could also got a boost last night. PJ Washington got into it last night, got ejected pretty early, so that kind of left them with one less big to kind of stop Pascal Siakam down there. He's been playing near 40 minutes a game with at least 20 shots. Similar to Fred VanVleet, he's a guy who's going to stay out there for as long as he can, and while he's out there, he's going to throw up as many shots as he can. So this was also another game total that was pretty high. I believe it was the 4th highest on the slate with a tight spread. So, again, that's another good environment for fantasy point production. And as him being the leader of the Toronto Raptors last night, he certainly did produce. Second power forward spot, we have Willy Hernangomez. Again, similar to Jose Alvarado and Nikhil Alexander-Walker. No Ingram, no Hart, no Valanciunas, no Graham. More opportunity, more playing time to grow on the offense. With him being one of the 3 bigs they have, Jackson Hayes never really has too much playing time when Valanciunas is out or any of the bigs are out. He's kind of a guy like Robert Williams, very athletic, but with that comes his propensity to foul people and get in foul trouble. So doesn't really have too long of a leash out there. So that kind of, and then their other big, Gary Clark's kind of an older veteran, not really a big, more of a stretch 4. So certainly open up for some playing time for Willie to bang down low with Joel Embiid. He showed that at increased opportunity last night, 30 minutes played, took 15 shots. And it's also, like I mentioned previously, very, very, very smart and advantageous to get a center who has power forward eligibility in your power forward spot, as on average, centers have way higher ceilings than regular power forwards. And again, a min-price center with power forward eligibility, it's almost a guaranteed play that you should play just for the potential that player has for their high ceiling being a center. Lastly, we have Joel Embiid here at the center spot. I believe the last 3 games, Seth Curry has been out for the Philadelphia 76ers, losing probably their second scoring option behind Joel Embiid. You have Maxey out there, doesn't really do much, kind of just stands there, doesn't really take many shots or command the ball that much. Tobias, he's been in a massive slump recently, hasn't been the same player. So it kind of just leaves Joel Embiid as the guy out there. And over those last 3 games with Seth Curry been out, he's been proving that. He's been averaging a 40% usage rate, 25 shots a game, and an average of 62 fantasy points a game. So he's certainly been producing. And coming into a night with no Jonas Valanciunas and a softer defensive man with Willy Hernangomez, it was definitely a recipe for him to kind of put it all together and kind of just smash. So definitely did last night. It was a crazy night last night. I believe this winning lineup was almost 500 points, which is insane. You needed at least 400 to cash last night, so very, very, very insane and fun night indeed. We got another big slate on tap tonight, 10-gamer. So I don't really, have too high scoring, but it was definitely fun last night. I hope you guys did well. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop me a like. If you want to keep seeing these, go ahead and drop me a subscribe. And I'll see you guys again.